Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Two Psychics. This is Michael Edley, evidential medium and mystic, discussing all things spiritual.
Hello, I'm Mary Amy of Two Psychics, an intuitive wisdom coach, tapping into your mystical life and sharing messages I receive about you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Michael Edley. So excited to be here with you tonight. Episode 15. The countdown is on. Episode 15, Death, Spirit, and the Afterlife. And my amazing co-host, Mary Amy. How are you, Mary Amy?
Hello. How are you tonight, Michael? I'm excited. We have so much to discuss tonight, and I know this is your area of expertise, so I'm not going to give too much of an explanation as I normally do. So tonight, it's episode 15, Death, Spirit, and Afterlife, and it is Wednesday, not our usual day, but we are doing it 7:30 p.m. Here we are, May 8th, and I'm Mary Amy, an intuitive wisdom coach. I'm coming from New York.
And I'm coming from the Jersey,
the East Coast.
The East Coast, New York, the Jersey Shore.
That's right. We're not that far away. In fact, I'm going to be seeing you in person at the end of the month, May 27th. We are going to be doing an event together. Anyone out there, if you would like to come to our event, Michael, share, where is that exactly?
We are going to be at the Touch Mother Earth Festival in Farmingdale, New Jersey, a very large campground and nature reserve, phenomenal space. You can camp there for several days. It's going to be all things spiritual. It's going to be a magnificent 4-day weekend for that Memorial Day weekend, but it starts off on the 24th. I'll be doing part of the opening ceremonies. I'll be taking everyone through a guided meditation, and I'm going to be working with the chakra system and the auric field and kind of showing everyone what the energy systems are of the body, how we can work with those energy systems, utilize those for our highest and best. So that's on Friday the 24th. And then on Memorial Day, we have the Mediumship Gallery at 12 noon. That is a free event. So anyone that wants to come out on Monday, Memorial Day, this whole festival is free. There is no charge. I think there's a $5 parking charge, and that's it. There's going to be drum circles. There's going to be live music. There's going to be all kinds of vendors and some really, really cool, just good people. So it's going to be a great experience. Anyone that wants to come out for the 4 days, you can actually get your own little campground area. You can set up a tent. You can have an actual camper RV. You can just come in for the day. So it's going to be a great thing. And I'm really excited to do it. Really excited that you're going to be coming in from New York to share that ship gallery with me. I think people are really in for an amazing, amazing day. Not only what we're going to be doing, but just the whole day and all of the events that are going on, all the workshops, all the classes. It's really going to be an enchanted Memorial Day.
I am really looking forward to it. And I think we might, by the end of the month, have some merchandise. We're getting our own logo made, and we had a professional photographer, everyone knows, because we've posted it on our site, Teresa, and she is a portrait and headshot photographer, and she took photos of us, and so we're having merchandise made up, like beanies and totes and T-shirts and hoodies, and there'll be a way that you can order online, which is kind of exciting to me. I also want to mention at the end of the month, we are having some guests, and I'm saying to you, it's been great that we've been it's been Michael and I, and we get more and more psychic readings in online, and I have people holding right now. We're going to be doing that tonight as well. But at the end of the month, it's pretty exciting, Michael. We have May 30th, we have Alexandra LaClure. She's an energy healer, and she is a medium who heals through past lives, energetically. She's also an author of a book. Her second book just came out, and she's going to discuss that. And then the following week, we have June 6th, we have Athena in Truth, a channeler. And she literally is someone that is channeling a higher consciousness that comes through, and this this being comes into her body and it changes her speech, her mannerisms. It's fascinating. So I'm looking forward to that. So there's a lot of good stuff coming. And anyone out there who's listening, I really appreciate you being here online and sharing us with others. Hopefully you follow us on Blog Talk Radio and on our website, well, actually our page on Facebook, which is Two Psychics Radio.
And if you haven't followed us on Facebook or social media, give us a shout, give us a like, give us a follow. We need some Facebook friends. So go like that Psychics Radio Show page.
So tonight we're going to discuss death, spirit, afterlife. And I'm going to give a healing visualization. We're going to pop in and grab one of these callers. I've already spoken to a few people. And then Michael's going to share with me the subject that we're talking about. And then, I'm hearing some popping. And then we are going to get more callers. So that's what our evening looks like. Anything exciting you want to share that happened to you since last week, Michael?
Oh, there's so many different things that are exciting and, exciting and chaotic, all wrapped up in the same ball of energy. No, I'm doing a lot of workshops, a lot of classes, a lot of readings. So I would say anyone that wants to reach out and get a private reading, a small group reading, or has a facility or a center or a studio that wanted to do a mediumship gallery, you can reach me at michaeledley.com. You can reach me on Facebook at Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley, and also on Meetup, Eye of the Spirits with Mike Edley. So that's probably the best way to see what I'm doing, what's coming up, what I have going on. And the Meetup page and the Facebook Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley page is going to have everything that's coming up. And if something's sold out, it will go on there. Like I said, we have an event coming up next week, a great event. It's readings and Reiki. It's a psychic night that I'm a part of. We have a great group of people, and that event is sold out. So I'm blessed that any of you listening, if you're coming out to join us, it's going to be a fantastic night. But if you want to be a part of anything, or you do want to contact me in regard to doing a reading, absolutely reach out, michaeledley.com, Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley. And I would be glad to do a reading with you.
You can always reach me. Just send me a direct message on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm also on Twitter. I hope you follow me. And you can find my book on Amazon, My Dream Journal, A Personal Diary of Messages, Signs, and Symbols. Okay, so let's get to it because we want to get all those callers in tonight. I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, so can I start and share? Can we get right into it, Michael?
Let's get right into it. Yep.
Let's get right into it. So, this was not meant to be something negative, when with the word death. And I thought, death is not always it might be the end of one thing and the beginning of something else. And as we see it, and we've been raised in this consciousness, this physical reality, to us, death is the termination of life. And it's the act of dying, the permanent end of life of all biological functions in a living organism. And we say mind, body, spirit. The spirit is the person's soul after death. The non-physical part departs from the body, termed spirit. And you can use the word, which I really am interested in to hear Michael's perspective on this. When they say those that have passed, is it, there's the ghost. What's the difference between a ghost and spirit, which I want to hear from Michael? Ghost, the soul of a dead person, inhabits the spirit world. And it's seen as a pale, transparent form of living, the living version of the person. So for me, when I've seen spirit or they've contacted me, I see them, it almost looks like literally in color. It's not a pale version of them. But when I did some research, that's what came through. It's more or less the person, literally like a stranger walking up to me. That's how I see someone who's passed over. Now, the afterlife, life following death, life after death, is a belief, a theory, consciousness of an existence after death. And your self-worth is less dependent on the material world and the physical body. Reincarnation, eternal life, heaven, which they say home where God lives in the sky, another realm, the soul's given salvation, everlasting bliss, is another perspective about afterlife. So there's afterlife, reincarnation, there's heaven, some kind of salvation. And it's really an afterlife is the soul is living on. It's an immortal spirit, an energy beyond the physical body. And I'm taking some quotes. So God said his children, we live in heaven with him, everlasting life. John 11:25-26, I quote, said, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live, and everyone who lives and believes in me never die. In the Bible, it's said afterlife is our spirit and body separate. Now, I'm somebody who had an experience of a near-death experience. I know I'm covering a lot, but these are some very deep subjects. A near-death experience, NDE, is when a person has a memory of an experience with angels, light, tunnels leading to heaven, out-of-body experience, and they came close to death. So a reincarnation bases on rebirth of the soul living again in the physical body, another lifetime, the continuation of life, and the soul comes back to earth in another body. Okay, Michael, what do you have for me?
Good stuff. Yeah, that was good. And this is a very broad range topic, so I don't think we're going to be able to get all the variations and all the subtle details, so we're going to give you a basic overview. And that overview, I think, stems from theories of religion, different philosophies of religion, different aspects of spirituality and spiritualists and what they, how they look at this. But basically, the afterlife or life after death, I like to put it in a way that we go from, basically, we're incarnated into this physical existence. So we go from nothing, we materialize into life. From life, we go into death, but from death, we go into a new stream of consciousness, a new life. And that's what I think a lot of people I think that's the basic aspect of it, is the individual stream of consciousness, our identity, our personality, that transcends the physical body. So exactly like Mary Amy said earlier, we're a spiritual being, we're having a human existence, and while we're having this human existence, our soul is co-pilot. It's co-piloting with us. And I think that's a very tough balance for people to navigate in many aspects. Is the human aspect of us going to control the soul's aspects, or are we going to allow the soul to harness the human body? And I feel when we manifest our full potential and we're truly doing what God designed us to do, and we're living in such a high vibrational state, we're allowing the soul to transcend the human consciousness that we're experiencing, and that's guiding us. It's when the human body takes control and our emotions dictate how we're acting, and bad behaviors, addiction, negative things. A lot of that comes from allowing the human aspect of us to harness and control the spiritual aspect, and a lot of lower vibrating things can come from that. So, first off, I would like to say, we truly empower ourselves when we come from the mindset of the soul transcends through the body, and we are so much more. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, this existence continues. Even though the physical body dies, the physical body breaks down over time. It's like it's basically like a car. You think about a car, and how long can the car go? You could do your oil changes, you could change all your fluids, you can make sure the tires are rotated and new ones are put on, and we can wash it, we can polish it, we can take as good of care of that, and it'll last longer than it normally would if we neglect it. Same thing with the body. The body is something, the more we can properly take care of it, the longer it's going to go for us. But it is a set period of time. The crazy thing is there are scientists out there that do believe that the human body can live up to 125 years. So that's pretty amazing. And there have been record of different monks and different highly evolved spiritual humans that have lived a longer existence. Now, was it the routines they were in, their diet, or was it genetic makeup and they just had a longer lifespan built into their genetics? We don't know. But I would say it's a combination of everything. But I could tell you without a shadow of a doubt, when the body dies, our individual stream of consciousness, our identity, our personality are all still intact. They're all part of our soul. So when I'm communicating, with the other side, and I'm allowing spirit to come through, bring through validation, evidence, they still hold on to their personality. They still have their quirks and their identity. It's just not in a physical body. I can tell you someone that was really funny and had a certain particular sense of humor, they'll come through that way, and it's a beautiful thing, understanding and knowing that our loved ones and those around us, our friends, our family, whoever it may be, they are still that person when they transcend this physical existence. It's really a beautiful thing. And, there's many different viewpoints on this, and there's many different theories. So a little bit of what I think is very, very interesting is when we look at different aspects of religion. So if we go back into like ancient Egyptian religions, we look through recorded history, and they would feel the body died, part of its soul, and they would call it, I believe, a body double would transcend it. And that's why we look at all the rituals, all the different things that they would do and they would establish. And it was very, very interesting how much they, how important they thought it was to honor the passage into the afterlife. It was a very, very big thing. And, from there we go into, if you look at Abrahamic religions, if we look at like the Hebrew Bible, you can look at, so we'll go into Job 21:22, to which all the dead go, both the righteous and the unrighteous, regardless of the moral choices made in life. And that's through Ezekiel, through a number of different aspects, through the Bible we can look at. And so many places they talk and they identify different aspects of transcending the human body. Even early Indian religions, they believed in their ancestors basically transcending through into the afterlife, and then being able to help guide and transition others that were going to leave the physical body. And, there would be vision quests. There would be so many related rites around this that were so important to that culture. And even if we look at like Chinese folk religion, if we look at like Confucius, even Confucius talked about the ancestors becoming spirits after death. So, throughout history, and this goes back so far. This goes back even hundreds of years before like the Old Testament. We see it was always incorporated into the human existence that we're so much more than this body. And then I think what brought it to a complete understanding or a complete full circle is the prediction from the Old Testament 400 years prior to the New Testament of Jesus. And Jesus coming and incarnating into this world and then transcending death and rising from the death into the afterlife. So much to that. And I don't want to spend we could basically talk this whole episode about that. And obviously that's, we're not going to do that. We're giving you an overview of this, but so much you can dive into, and it's in all different cultures. It's in all different religions, and there's so much to it. And now from a scientific standpoint, a lot of you that have been listening know that I'm a scientific research medium. So basically I'm in a lab and they're studying what goes on in my brain, what goes on when I'm connecting to otherworldly realms, what goes on when I'm connecting to spirit. And all these things are proving without a shadow of a doubt that there are realms beyond this physical existence that we cannot see, but we know they're all around us. And there's many different realms to that. And to really simplify it, I'll say this human existence, what we're doing here in the 3D, this 3D Earth dimension, and that even goes out, spread out through this universe, this three-dimensional universe, other planets, other galaxies, other solar systems. We are in this realm. Now, between this realm and I would say the highest vibrating realm, heaven, which is a pure realm of love, of light, of positive energy, and I do not believe evil cannot exist in that heavenly realm. Basically, evil earthbound spirits. A lot of that happens in this 3D. And then I believe some of the slightly more elevated realms, you can have some spirit transcend into those realms. And then as we start ascending even higher and higher, going towards heaven, the evil can't penetrate. So it's interesting when people ask, the subject even came up with someone doing a reading. How do I know that when we're connecting or when you're doing what you do that you can't, pull in something that's negative or something that's not supposed to be there? Well, I can tell you it's been a long, long process. I mean, we're talking decades of me studying this, me understanding this, me practicing this. And I can absolutely tell you when our loved ones in spirit are trying to communicate back to us, whether that's through our guides, whether it's through the Holy Spirit, whatever it may be, in that realm, it's pure love. So even as spirit transcends through those levels, if they had done lots of nefarious things here or evil, there is realm, and we're not going to get into this real heavy tonight, but I can tell you there's aspects of purgatory that are somewhat correct, but it's more of a life review. And in that, I do believe we have the option, which isn't talked about a lot, to reincarnate into this physical existence. Now, sometimes it could be for a learning lesson. Sometimes it could be for a karmic experience. But I do believe that when we transcend and we're under a life review and we've done good, we can transcend into heaven and we can live out this beautiful existence in this loving heavenly realm. I do believe some of us have the choice to say, hey, you know what? I have more stuff I would like to do. I would like to be an angelic presence. I would like to be a guardian angel in a sense and go back because I have a mission to help some of those people back in that 3D dimension of Earth. So I do believe there is some choices. I do believe there are learning lessons. There are life reviews. And that's something, for a whole different episode we'll get going on. But there's many different aspects of this, but truly life transcends death. And that's the bottom line of this. The stream of consciousness holds our identity, it holds our personality. And anyone out there that is grieving over their loved one being gone, they crossed over, just understand that they are not truly gone. They are still with us. They want to communicate with us and let us know that they're okay just as much as we want to communicate with them. And there's many different aspects and ways to do that, but it's without a shadow of a doubt, everything I've done, everything I've experienced in my life, and I have also had a near-death experience, and just like Barry Amy, so we're both coming from very real-life experience of things that have happened to us, things we've seen. And that's, I think, the beautiful thing about this show. We're not just talking about stuff we've read or stuff, we think may be the right thing to tell or talk about. We are truly coming to you from personal experience that we've encountered, that we've dealt with, and that has happened in our own life. And without a shadow of a doubt, the stream of consciousness transcends any kind of physical death. Now, I've rambled on about that a little bit, but I think it's important to really, really talk about the understanding of life transcending death, and it's so important for people to understand that this is not the end.
I think that's probably why this was of interest to me to bring up, and you are a medium and you are sharing visitations that you receive of, those who have passed. And if someone says, do you send someone around me? And so that is all about really death, but it's not the death of the person because our energy just changes form. It's the death of the physical body. The energy of the person, their spirit, their soul, it lives on. And I think that's why this was important to me, because it's so painful when someone passes. And I've shared with you, I believe, when my father passed, I didn't get to say goodbye to him. There was no farewell. I never saw him again, and it broke me for about 4 months. I was like in a hole, And then he would visit me in my dreams, and I found out things about him in my dreams that I was never told. So it was very mysterious. And I asked my mom, and I would tell her about my dreams, and she said, "Oh yeah, that's accurate. That your father did this or that." But it is sad when a person passes, but we have to know that beyond this world there is an afterlife. And I did have a near-death experience, and I did have a strong connection to angels after that, because I saw light, and I believe I was so young that it really encouraged me to have faith and know that there's something beyond this physical reality. And that's probably why I can tap into the angelic realm, just like Michael taps into the spirit realm, or the spirit world, I should say, right?
Yeah, and it's so that's what I would say is the afterlife is basically a rebirth. It's a rebirthing process into a new existence. And no matter what religions call it, you have, obviously Christian religions, it's heaven. To like Hindus, they call it Savarga Ayaka, I believe it is. It's some crazy name that I can't even pronounce. Someone may be able to pronounce it better than I can. But no matter what religion you look at, they all speak about some transcending state of being. So whether that's a new realm of energy, whether whatever each religion says, I do believe that we're all speaking about the same thing. And and it's spoken about and talked about, and the wording is slightly different, but all religions are referring to the same thing. We're all referring to this otherworldly realm, other realms of existence, and that's really all it is, And it's funny because when I go back and I think about how many different aspects to religion there are, I really think most of that is a human construct. If we truly connect on a very deep, intimate level with our Creator, with source-loving energy God, with the divine presence that created all of the universe, and I believe everything, and that divine presence, that loving energy, which I call God, that transcends even the divine realms, even the heavenly realm. It basically covers all realms and brings everything into existence. We're just starting at the very bottom, at the lowest vibrating space. But there's a reason we do that. We are meant to experience this human existence. We are meant to experience our emotions. We are meant, to experience many different aspects of this life that will define who we are in the afterlife. So it's so important to understand that there's so much more. It truly is a life-changing mindset when you understand how large of a scale and what we're really talking about.
Okay. Would you like to have a caller before I do a visualization? Is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, I think that's. I think I've rambled on enough.
You didn't ramble on, because I believe, you and you said earlier, we have had our experiences, and I can't say things are facts. I can say that from my experience, this is what I know, and that's all I can say. I can't claim.
And I'm going to go out on a limb.
I'm
going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say it's fact. I would put my life on it that there's an afterlife. I could tell you in a lab.
Yes.
I could tell you in a scientific lab, aside from quantum physics, aside from, these physicists that are studying this and these leading world-renowned scientists, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, in the lab, even though this is in public knowledge, there is 100% proof of life after death, without a shadow of a doubt. It is proven. Unfortunately, there's a lot of controlling factors. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of money. There's a
propaganda.
There's a lot in this human existence that isn't of God, that isn't of the spiritual realms, and whether that's being hidden and trying to be used as manipulation, or just the powers that be don't believe that our society and our world is ready for that comprehensive understanding of that. I don't know. There's a lot of variables to that. There's a lot of variables to that.
I don't think so. I think that it's their way to dumb us down so that we aren't reaching beyond this little matrix that we're living in, where everything's controlled and we have to follow what everyone else says. Like we're yeah, no.
Absolutely.
I think that
the more critical thinking we do as humans, the more we empower ourselves, and the more we empower ourselves, the less we can be controlled and manipulated. And that's really what it comes down to. But I could tell you why I do this. It's because people need to understand that this life is not the end. It's only a piece of the whole picture. And truly, I believe that's part of my life mission, is to show people that there is a spiritual realm. There is a divine presence, loving God source that we all come from. And it's just so important for people to understand that. So that is absolutely part of my life's goal, for people to understand that what we're seeing, what we're experiencing, is only a little piece of the puzzle.
And one of my life goals is to share that there, yes, indeed, are angels in an angelic realm. Okay, so I have holding a few people that I already spoke to, and I'm going to bring one on, and then I'm going to give a healing visualization, and then we're going to take more callers. So if you're looking for a psychic reading tonight, please call in. The number is 515-605-9866. Okay, our first caller for a psychic reading is, drum roll. Hello. Hi,
Hello.
This is Miriam Michael. How are you?
Hi. I'm fine. I think you had three-wayed me with another caller.
Well, no. When I put you in the green room, there's someone else there too. So that's what happens. But right now you're not, correct?
Right now you are with Mike and Mary, and who do we have on the line with us?
My name is Vernell. Start with V like in Virginia. Vernell.
Vernell.
Hi.
Oh, I love that. That is such a cool name. That really is. Is there a meaning to that? What is that? Is there like a meaning to your name, or is that like family lineage or something? Because that is a really cool name.
Well, that I don't really know. But I mean, my father. I mean, I don't know him. I didn't know him well or anything. But I think I was guessing that my name might have been. I mean, I might have been named somewhat after him, because his name was Vernon, but my name is Vernell. So I was thinking, well, maybe my mom might have named me after him, kind of. So
awesome. So Vernell, what brings you to Two Psychics radio show tonight? What question did you have for us?
Okay. Well, I was talking to another caller. I have a cat. And and first of all, it's my birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Thank you.
So you are Taurus, huh? We have a Taurus on the line with us. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. So what question did you have for us?
Okay. Well, my cat, she hasn't been well, and for a while, and I've been looking for all kinds of ways of helping her get better. And a few days ago, I found out it was this report that said that an ingredient in pet food
recall, the vitamin packs, right? Is that what you're talking about? Not to cut you off, but so we can definitely get into that a little bit. And so basically, around your cat, the energy around your cat, and what's going on with the kitty cat. Is that what the question's based around?
Yeah, actually, it was an ingredient called carrageenan that caused stomach upset and even stomach cancer. They were saying in a scientific report, and they was warning pet parents against that ingredient being in cat and dog food. And I couldn't help but wonder if that's the reason why my cat hasn't been well for a while.
Right.
And,
so let's get into the reading for now. So just give me your name really slow one time.
Okay. My name is Vernell.
Okay, Vernell. So interesting thing. So first off, in regard to the cat, there's a couple of things. So not only the Carrageenan, not only that, but I do believe you should do a little research into the brands of food that you're feeding, and a lot of mainstream brands. So another thing that's been going on, if you look up, not just in cats, but in cats and dogs, I believe there was something to do with the vitamin additives or the vitamin packs in a lot of the foods, and they were finding very elevated levels of vitamin D and certain supplements, certain things in the foods they were finding were way, way, way out of the recommended dosages, and extreme levels of the vitamins, the minerals, even iron, a number of different things that are in these vitamin packs were causing liver and kidney problems. So that's the first thing. I would definitely look at the food you're feeding. Now, what you want to do with that is you want to actually research who is the parent company of the food. Because I don't want to put names out there, and I don't want to do any of that, but I can tell you most people don't even realize that a handful, 3-4 companies own most of the major pet foods that you're going to find in like the supermarket or even in your big box pet stores. So you really have to be careful. And a lot of it is produced in the same facilities. So if there's a problem with one that's being manufactured in that facility and by that parent company, even though it's under another name, there could be major problems with that. So definitely look at the food you've been feeding. And a lot of this won't show up. What I'm hearing is even like your normal blood tests and different testing that they can do, some of these things are not showing up. So that's really scary. But that's what I've heard is the vitamin packs and supplements that are being used in the food, which I would say multiple manufacturers, you could say probably 75% of the manufacturers get their supplement packs that are then fortified into the food from the same place. So if there's a problem with one, there's going to be a problem with a number of them. So the energy around this a little bit. So first off, what comes to me is, have you done testing? I feel like you need to dive a little deeper into this. So what comes to me is, there hasn't been blood tests for the cat, has there?
Not for a while, but that was because I'm always able to afford to take her to a vet, and I don't have any transportation.
Okay, so if that's a problem you can't get out, I would really look at the food, and then look and track it down. I mean, honestly, so what comes to me around this, overwhelmingly getting the energy of tell her to cook her cat's food, and as crazy as this is going to be, if you're finding that the cat likes certain things where you can incorporate some human food, and I can tell you it's nonsense that you can't feed human food to your dog or your cat, because I can tell you some of the best foods out there are human-grade foods, and those foods don't have the same fillers. They don't have the same byproduct and preservatives that you could actually do if you were able to cook for your cat. And I'm not saying cook every meal, but I'm saying research the food and make sure that it's not one that's being produced in one of the facilities that is having a number of problems. And I mean, if you're on any social media, there's multiple groups. You could probably just even search it like Facebook and search, contaminated pet food recalls, a number of different groups on there. And so a lot of those groups actually have vets that are leading the fight against some of these manufacturers that, whatever they're putting into the food or whatever they're missing, that they're going at them and they're trying to come up with this. Because, look, at big business, these large major companies, I mean, it's sad to say, but they don't care about us. They don't really care about our animals. They're about making a profit. And it's a sad thing. So first off, I would say try to find a smaller mom-pop company that has their own facility, that they're actually manufacturing their own food. And it doesn't have all the fillers. It doesn't have all the byproduct. It doesn't have all the stuff that's going to cause that litter box to be filled nonstop. When you switch over to a more natural food, their body processes and utilizes much more of it. So you're going to have a much healthier animal. They're absorbing much more of the nutrients in the food, and it's not just going right through them into the litter box for cleanup. So definitely look at smaller companies that actually produce it in their own facility, that it's not a large mass-produced facility that, 50 different foods are being made there. So I would definitely look for small companies that have more of a vested interest in your animal's well-being, which the larger companies don't. The larger companies have to meet shareholders' profits. Most of those big companies, that's what it's all about. It's about the numbers that they're making. It's about the profits that they're making. So, I mean, I hate to say this, but big business does not have mine and your interest or our pet's interest. The bottom line is their interest is how much money can they make off us. And it's a sad, sad thing, but we're seeing that not just in pet foods. We're seeing that in many different aspects of our own food. If you look at what's in these foods now, it's crazy, and that's part of the humans being human. We love food. A lot of us, what I found what was crazy is like through the pandemic and a lot of uncertainty, like I was stuffing my face nonstop. And so food is a very big aspect, not only to our life, but our pet's life. So definitely do that research. But what comes to me is preparing and preparation that you're doing to have more control in creating your cat's diet. So, and it's really not that involved. It's going to be, it's much easier to open a bag and pour it into a dish, but there's a lot you can do. And there's a lot of information out there on, a very minimal budget of trying to at least enhance or supplement your cat's food with your own human stuff that you're using that's in the house. So that's the first thing. But scrutinize your pet food. I do believe so. Around this, I'm reading the energy of this situation, and my concern around your cat is the digestive tract, but the digestive tract in connection with the liver and kidneys. So So what I would say is if you can do like a cleaner, more purified water, rather than a water that has a ton of chlorine and a ton of different chemicals and stuff in it, that definitely may be a very good first step too. Assess the food, clean up and upgrade the quality of the water you're giving the animal. And you might want to look, there's a lot of nonprofit groups and there's a lot of animal welfare groups that if you don't have the budget and you don't have the means for vet care, a lot of them have different grants and funding that they can help you with that. So you definitely should look into that. There's definitely avenues out there to try to get your animal's care, even on a very, very low budget. There's lots of great groups doing some really, really good stuff. But Mary Amy, what's coming to you around this?
Hi. Okay,
Hello.
I'm very sad to hear this because I'm a pet owner. My puppy dog is part of my family, and I sense that you have a very deep love for your cat. So what I received was I initially saw a bed of flowers, a lot of elements of nature related to you. I heard that you have a fresh start and you can have a wish granted. You have a very light and loving personality. You have sweet energy. I don't want you to ever give up on your dreams, and you shouldn't, and you can't, and you don't have to. So what I received is you have obviously a love for your cat. You cannot control the nature aspect of this. I know you feel devastated because you fed the cat. So you're wondering, am I responsible for this illness that my cat has? And I think you have to release that because we trust the manufacturer, don't we? So my suggestions are these. Tonight, or when, if you, indeed you want to do this, I say before you go to sleep tonight, lay down, and I'd like you to visualize your cat healthy. The last time you saw your cat healthy before you go to sleep. And then ask, can I please be told any information about the cat? And maybe you might not necessarily dream about this tonight, but in the next few days. Also, I suggest, if you're already not, is to pray for the cat to be healed. There's so much there in relation to the love that we give any living thing, a human or an animal, and they sense that. And I know you already do love the cat. I'm not even doubting that at all. You're a beautiful soul. I saw a vortex. And so a vortex, in regard to you, that's an image that came through. And so energy is at work. There is a force of nature. You are moving through a difficult time, which you will be carried forward. I know you feel as though you're being swept up by this. It's like it's so prominent in your mind right now. Here you are calling us. I'm hoping, I'm making the suggestion to take time for yourself to relax and breathe. And and that's what I received. And I'm wishing you well.
Yeah, okay, I think a lot of it is just you really need to look at all aspects of what's going into the cat's body and scrutinize as much of it as you can and try to go as clean of a diet as possible. But right now, I think you have to do something to try to clean out the cat's system. So if there's contaminants or there's an excess amount of vitamins or something that is of the recommended dosage, there's an overdose of something that's going on, looking into ways you can help feed your cat, like we were talking about, as close to a human grade food as you can, and find out, like, look at what you're going to want to look at when you start giving your cat certain foods. So if you're eating something, if you're eating a hamburger, or you're eating a piece of chicken, like, dice it up, see what the cat can eat, and what you want to look at after you feed the cat certain human ingredients. See if the cat's ear is red. See if the cat starts to get dry skin. See if the cat's getting itchy and scratchy and biting or anything like that, because then the cat could be allergic to something that it's getting. So you have to rule that out too. So you have to rule out also environmental contaminants. So if there's any kind of air fresheners, diffusers, candles, anything that releases fragrance into the air, a lot of that stuff can be very toxic to animals. So be aware of your cat's environment. Be aware of what's going into your cat as far as nutrition, and really look at the water and try to get a purified water. And I would also try to incorporate in, now, are you doing any type of healing energy? Are you familiar with any type of like healing energy or any type of energy work to help heal animals? Is that something that you're familiar with?
I went to healers for my cat, and I just discovered a healer very recently, and her work seems to I could tell her healing is working, because my cat seemed like she's getting more back to herself again, and that's a positive sign to me. And so she just did another session on my cat, and she said it's going to take maybe a few days for me to see anything happen with her, and her healing really was effective. And,
okay, I mean that's definitely a good thing. I would say, in addition to utilizing someone that is a healer, has healing abilities, I would do I would recommend you doing your own research and start looking at like the meridian points throughout the cat, the pressure points, and different aspects of the cat's body. You can Google this stuff, and it'll show you this pressure point on the cat's paw, or this on it, above its shoulder, the center of its back. And a lot of times they're reactive when you hit that spot, and that spot correlates to an internal organ or another part of the body. You may be able to self-assess, in a sense, what is ailing your cat. Like if you press this certain pressure point that correlates to the liver, and you start seeing your cat be reactive or jump, or something happened, then you can say, hey, wait, okay, maybe I'm narrowing this down, and I'm seeing that this energy center triggers this response. Now, what is that relationship? Is that in relationship to the kidneys? Is it relationship to the liver? Is it in relation to the the intestinal tract? But look at those things, and there's so much information out there. You have to look through a lot of it, and there's going to be just as much misinformation as there is really good information. But I think you can use your intuitive judgment and see, and just look at the dynamics of energy healing, and like what you can do in addition to the healer that you're working with to really supercharge that cat's energy system. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But what I would say is just look into all those aspects, what we talked about tonight, and give the cat a little bit of time. And if you see improvements and certain things are working, just give us a call back and let us know. But I do believe you are empowered to take a lot of this into your own control, into your own hands, and try to implement those healing practices through nutrition, through the environment, and through non-traditional healing to get this cat back on track. So I think there's a lot of positive energy around this that I see. I do see potential for your cat's healing and a full recovery, but I do believe a lot of that is going to be, it's going to be hinging upon you being very proactive in regard to the cat's healing. So Vernell, I really appreciate you giving us a call. And
Vernell, one more thing. He just kind of triggered something. You have a super positive, loving energy about you, and you should look in for yourself to be an energy healer. I am a Reiki master, and you have the qualities that could be something that you could help the cat with. It's not that complicated to learn to be a Reiki master or an energy healer, so maybe look into that for yourself.
Okay. Can I say something to y'all real fast? Okay. She does have a electric water fountain with a filter, and I clean out her water almost every day, and plus I put filtered water from my faucet into her water fountain.
That's good job. You are doing right by your cat for sure.
Yeah, and I had I was doing a little research on the cat food to find out which ones don't contain a lot of junk and the right ingredients, and I came across one called Reveal, and it has just simple ingredients, and it don't have no artificial anything and no preservatives or anything, and it's just a few simple ingredients, and I told another caller about that. And also too, I have a question, a very important question I have to ask y'all. Is everything that she's been also losing weight and muscle mass, and I was wondering, is everything, all the stuff she's going through, is it the reason why she has lost weight and muscle mass?
Yeah, it definitely could be it, especially if you've switched up the food and you've changed around the cat's diet. So what happens when the foods are loaded with fillers and byproduct is their body doesn't utilize and process all of that. So they're really just, it's basically going through them. So they're not getting the nutrition they need, and they can absolutely lose muscle mass. They can, they can go downhill really fast if the diet isn't correct, and that can cause so many secondary problems. So so I think so important that you scrutinize the food you're doing. Now, is the food that you're on now the same food that the cat was on when it started having problems, or have you switched it up?
Well, I had just changed it. I had her on Fancy Feast for a long time, but now I got her on Reveal.
Yeah, so understand, it could take 30 to 45 days for a cat to expel everything out of their system and basically clean their system and for their system to reset. So just be aware. I don't know how long you've been on this, but 30 to 45 days, easy just to clean out their system and give them a reset. So just understand that. But just look at all those aspects, and I would definitely look into some of the nonprofit groups that offer very, very reasonable vet care. I mean, you might be able to get all the cat's blood work for really cheap, $25, $30, $50. And I mean, maybe there may be some great nonprofits in your area, or some, if you're researching, may be able to steer you in the right direction that can help with that. Because it just keeps coming to me that to try to get the blood work done. Try to get the blood work so you can truly see diagnostically what you're dealing with and to see where the cat's levels are. So if I was going to say one thing in particular, look into the nonprofit groups that are helping with very reasonable vet care and see if you can do a full blood panel on the cat so you can see its liver function, its kidney function, and just what's going on. So you have kind of a baseline of what's happening and how out of whack the cat's system is or is not. So I think so that would be my one thing is try to do what you can to get, they have mobile vets that do nonprofit stuff. They have a lot of rescue groups and shelters that offer this. So just do a little research and try to get that blood work done if you can. And it is really, I mean, we all know, anybody that has an animal knows vet care is not cheap. It is not cheap at all. And the blood work can be really expensive, but there are a lot of great groups out there that may be able to give you assistance with that.
Okay, and do y'all archive y'all show when it's over?
We do.
Yeah.
So you can go back, listen to it, and see how crazy we are.
and follow us. I hope you follow us and give us a call back, because everything that you're doing is going to help the cat. What's your cat's name, by the way?
Lucy.
Lucy. All right. So we're gonna send some healing energy, healing vibes for Lucy.
We're sending Lucy love Lucy. Love Lucy the cat. Okay, Lucy the cat. She's gonna get better.
Thank y'all so much.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a great night. Thank you so much for calling. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank y'all very much.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Okay, you know what? I know we were on an extra long time with her. However, I do feel like that was very valuable information. It actually gave me some wonder about what I'm feeding my puppy dog, the food, and I'm going to check it out and make sure that it's all safe myself.
Yeah, it's really important, and there's so much propaganda and really, really good advertising, and the way they write up some of the wording with some of the food, it's just, all natural. It could say all natural, but it doesn't really have to be all natural. I mean, there's so much propaganda in the wording and the advertising that we really have to dig deep, dive deep into researching what we're feeding our pets.
Yeah, on our own. Okay, so before we take another caller, because I have people holding, and I already spoke to someone who I'm going to bring on, I'd like to do a visualization, a healing visualization. Nice,
let's do it. Kind of get me into the zone.
Oh, get you into the zone. Okay. All right, everyone. Okay, here we go. Blessings. Our intention today is to release negative thoughts and emotions preventing us from our own personal happiness. Let's realize letting go of pain, anger, sadness, and fear will unblock your fullest potential in relationships, career, and yourself. Your water visualization begins now. So I'd like you to find a quiet space, sit or lay down comfortably. It's really important that you find as much deep relaxation as possible and as much comfort for you to receive as much from this visualization. So I'd like you to begin to relax your body and your mind. And so let's breathe out old energy. I'm going to remind you to put all your weight in your bottom, your base of your root chakra, and the base of your spine. And so you put all your weight, and you're going to let go of any tension and stress that you have in your body and kind of hang a little bit like a rag doll. So you're just letting all the energy just move through and out your fingertips, down your arms and through your fingertips. Okay, and so we're going to start by all of us. We're going to deeply breathe. We're going to inhale and exhale 3 times together. And I'd like to do this on a 5 count. So we're going to inhale for 5, hold for 5, and release for 5. Okay, so we're relaxing. We're letting go. Here we go. First inhale. Second. The last one. Okay, now I'd like you to scan your body for stress from the top of your head, your crown chakra, to the tip of your toes. And we're talking about just letting it all go. okay, and getting as comfortable as possible. All right, I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting in an orangish pink bubble of light. And you're standing in this pink bubble of light. And this bubble protects you. And you feel safe in this bubble of light. And it's warm and it's inviting. And you're embracing this bubble of light. And you feel comfort and security. And this bubble of light is reaching beyond your head, beyond your feet, and beyond your entire body. Nothing can come between you and the outside world because this bubble of light is protecting you. No one may harm you. And the bubble reaches beyond your head and below your feet. The bubble floats. As the bubble floats, you're allowing yourself to feel free of old energy, and you're opening to a new beginning. And as you walk, the bubble, this pinkish orangish bubble of light, warm and inviting, is moving with you. As you see sand, a gorgeous white sandy beach, glistening waves, and you're walking onto the beach and to the water's edge. Your feet feel the chill of the water, and you adjust to the temperature, and it feels fresh and inviting. This warm bubble of pinkish orange light surrounds you and allows you to release any pain that you've experienced. And you're just letting it go. You're breathing it out. And you begin to remember the last person that has hurt you. Your heart and spirit grow sad. And you're releasing a breath. And you're forgiving them. And you're letting it go into the sea. And more painful memories are flooding out of you into the water to make room for the orangish pink bubble of light. It's filling you with hope, love, and happiness. And now you're taking in fresh air into your lungs. You're breathing it in. And you're letting out all the pain, the suffering, the anger, the sadness, and the fear inside your mind and in your heart. As you stay in this moment, you feel transformed. A sense of serenity, peace, and calmness affect your being. Now, this is not a loss, but a reward. The water accepts all you have let go into the sea, and it's giving you new choices for your future relationships, career, and self. You now have awareness of the feeling of a calm and peaceful inner spirit. I'd like you to stay in this moment, hold on to it, and I'm going to count backwards to 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Aside from the static, sorry about that. I don't know where that's coming from. You there, Michael?
I wasn't getting any static. I wasn't hearing it, so it might be just on your end. Everything sounded good and clean, and your voice sounded fantastic.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I hope that has given some kind of relaxation, and I know when we do this, we have a chance to do it on our own. We don't necessarily do it because we find ourselves so busy with tasks, so here was a chance to gain some serenity inside your spirit and soul. Okay, let's pull in another caller because we're going to take some more callers. How's that, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring in another caller.
Okay, so I don't know who this is. I'm gonna hit on this, and anyone else who'd like a reading, please call in at 515-605-9866.
So who do we have with us?
Hi, who's this? Hello? Hello?
We have the unknown caller.
Is someone there? There's a lot of static, but is someone there? I don't know what's going on.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, who's this?
Who do we have with us?
Oh, yeah, well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you say your name again? Yeah, look, you're cutting in and out a little bit on us.
Okay, my name is Michelle.
Hey, Michelle,
Hi,
how
Michelle.
are you?
How are you?
Doing good. I didn't even hear y'all come on. The raccoons were at my back. The raccoons were at my back door, and I was just trying to get a closer look.
So
where are you calling from, Michelle? That southern accent, I love it.
I'm originally funny. I'm originally from Kentucky, but I'm here in Florida now.
Oh, nice.
Thank you,
nice.
Thank you.
The sunny state of Florida. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'd like to be down in Florida. But we did have Florida weather up here today, so it was nice.
I feel very, very blessed. I really do.
So, Michelle, what question did you have for us?
Well, I think the last time I talked to y'all and other people, they said I was going to be meeting somebody new. And so I'm just kind of curious, how old is this person? And, any information on them, where they work. I'm curious, because I live here on my boat, so I'm just curious, where am I going to meet this person?
Wow, how cool is that? You have a houseboat?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is awesome. You're even cooler than I thought. Florida and a houseboat. Wow, that is awesome. So Michelle, just give us your name slowly one time so we can connect to your energy field, and we'll see what comes to us.
Okay, it's Michelle.
Okay, Michelle. So interesting. As you say your name and I connect to your energy field, the interesting thing is the name, and I'm not talking about loved one or Mr. Right, but the name Deborah. What's the connection to the name Debbie or Deborah with you? Because that name is in your energy field very strongly. I'm picking up on that.
Well, there's a girl I got into it with. So I don't even know, without going in long details, but when me and my boyfriend had split up over 11 years, I had given her a place to stay when she was homeless, living out of her car. And when we played card games on Monday night, I noticed that she was kind of flirting with them, and she'd let her hair down, but I never said nothing, But anyways, when we split up, I'm like, she was staying in the camper and she was moving out so he could move in. Well, she wouldn't give me the keys for her. I'm like, my stuff is in there too. And she did not want to give me the keys even after he told her to give me the keys.
Okay.
And
all
I was
right.
like,
well,
what kind of friend is that?
Yeah, I appreciate the validation of that name. Yeah, that name has a very, very strong energetic connection to you, and it is a little bit of a chaotic connection, but I do believe there's a little bit of a learning lesson and possibly some understanding about yourself and how to move forward so you can have the opportunity for the best relationship in that new relationship that you're looking for. So the first thing I want to talk about, and understand when you call into us, when we're reading your energy, it's not always exactly the question you want answered, but I can tell you when we're connecting, it's probably one of the most important things we can talk to you about or tell you. The name Debbie, so as that was coming to me, there is a little bit of chaotic energy coming from that, but I do believe there are some learning lessons, and I do believe there is a lot you can understand about yourself moving forward to better your new relationship. So what I would say, I feel you need to scrutinize aspects of that relationship and that connection. What drew you into that person? What caused you to not trust that person? Or what were the pros and the cons of that relationship? And I think you need to take a step back and shift your mindset, because what's coming to me is you need to shift your mindset a little bit. So I do believe that there are some self-limiting beliefs. I don't think you give yourself enough credit for the person that you are and how much love and positive energy and just life you can bring to the relationship. I truly believe you're on this journey right now that you need to find a little bit more about yourself and what makes you tick and what you truly find important in a relationship. And for some reason, that name Debbie and scrutinizing the energy around that situation and those circumstances, I believe can lead you to insight and guidance into that connection of love. So that's what I do want you to sit and meditate on that a little bit and think about everything around that connection to the Debbie and things that you could have done differently. Are there things that maybe you shouldn't have tolerated? Were there things intuitively that your gut was telling you, hey, like you talked about, hey, she let her hair down. That was really weird. That was a little bit out of character. What's going on there? Is there a trust issue? Is someone trying to manipulate or move behind my back to take, to have an affair or to move into my loved one, try to take this guy that I like and, is she going to try to steal him? So just look at all these aspects around that.
It was really weird because I was never really jealous of her. And I always trusted her. I mean, I gave her a place to live twice when she was homeless. So, I mean, I think I trusted her a lot. And there was a lot of things that I overlooked, and I just didn't say anything. I just kind of kept it to myself,
Yeah,
so I guess I was too trusting.
Okay, and I mean, trusting is good. We want to trust, and we don't want to not. We don't want to be skeptical of everything. And in this day and age, it's hard. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. A lot of people try to manipulate and maneuver through situations to their own advantage. But what I think you can learn from this is I think you can learn that you need to trust your intuition. If something, if your gut instinct is telling you, hey, something's not right about this situation, don't discredit that. You truly have that ability to tap in and see the bigger picture on an energy level. We talked earlier about, the afterlife, spirit, death. We're a spiritual being, and we have a soul, and we're riding out this human fleshy spacesuit in this human existence. But when we tap into the soul, when we tap into that divine spiritual being that we are, and we allow that to transcend through us, I can tell you that intuition and that gut instinct is never going to steer you wrong. It really isn't. We have to sit with it and we have to understand it, and the ego wants to block it out a lot and wants to try to manipulate us into safety, or maybe we're comfortable and the ego says this is
it's
good.
really weird that you say that, because when it was going on, I just kind of I knew what was going on and I knew what she was doing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. It's just going to create drama, and they're going to think that I'm just overreacting. And so I just left it alone, you know what I mean? But I knew in my heart, I knew what I felt and I knew what I saw, Does that make any sense?
Absolutely does. I think it completely aligns and resonates with everything I'm talking about right now. Absolutely. I think you are absolutely understanding the situation. Now you just need to utilize these tools that you have and use them to maneuver forward, and use them in trying to understand and guide yourself into the new loving relationship that you deserve. What do you get, Mary Amy?
Hi. Okay.
Hey, honey.
So I heard. So usually for me, I'm getting clairaudience, or I get clairvoyant, or it's something related to the heart. So it's the heart, hearing, or it's sight. And I received that you were spellbound by someone, and I saw a mirror. And the mirror represents receiving new awareness about your identity, and you have been getting some self-reflection, and you need to delve into that. How do you see yourself? I also heard that you should trust your intuition, create stronger boundaries around you. And what I mean by that is we can actually, wherever you are right now, I'd like you to imagine around you, your physical body, 12 inches from your body, an invisible line that you're setting a boundary, and no one is allowed to come into your space physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually unless you give permission. A lot of times we are told, or we grow up in a family, or we're around certain people, and they step over our boundaries, and then we don't know where we begin and end, and we feel bad if we stand up for ourselves, and we don't trust our intuition. I believe that you don't need proof. You sense something, you're accurate. what you're sensing about your friend is accurate. So now it's up to you to set a boundary. Now, I don't know what that means for you. It might be a stretch. It might be scary, something like that to, either make a comment about, or you just change how you deal with that person. But I'm going to tell you right now, people show you ahead of time who they are. They either tell you or they show you. And don't be confused. They mean it. When they say things, and also if someone does something to someone else, just wait for them to do it to you. So be aware of your boundaries, and just also trust that you have an awareness. You are aware. And that's what I have.
So I don't want her in my life no more.
No, that's good. But I think you need to make some decisions that empower you, and you need to take your energy back. I think you've given a lot of that out, but I just want to share a couple little details. So when we are connecting to your energy, and as Mary Amy was giving you some of her insight and guidance, July 17th came to me several times. So I don't know, is that a significant date for you, or am I picking up on something in your energy field?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Just be aware of that point in time, July, going into July, the mid-month. There's some kind of transition, some type of positive energy shift, and that could be, at that point, you're in the right place at the right time. You've made the right decisions, and you're on the right track to meet the person that you're meant to meet. I feel like prior to this relationship, I feel like you were putting a lot into the relationship, and maybe a lot more than the other person was putting in. You were putting in a lot, not getting a lot out. I truly believe as you start to align your intuition, as you tap into this divine guidance that's within you, you're going to start to see that you bring so much to the table. And it's not like you need someone else to fulfill you or complete you, because you're going to fulfill and complete yourself. When you meet the other person, they're going to be the icing on the cake. They're not going to be the cake. You're the cake. You're just getting the icing to put on top. So this is a journey you're on. You're on a journey of self-discovery, self-awareness. And through this journey, I think you're going to transcend into this beautiful being that will then attract the person that you're meant to attract. So I would say give yourself some grace, give yourself some time, and let this unfold in the proper way. Don't be in such a rush to jump into a relationship. You want to have all your stuff sorted and worked out so you can bring the best version of you to that relationship. Because if you're not bringing that to the relationship and you meet the right person, well, do you want to do yourself a disservice for not being ready for that? So I say do the inner work right now, but be aware of the month of July. The month of July is very significant for you. Definite positive energy around that, and specifically July 17th coming to me. So I want to leave you with that, Michelle, with love and light, and give us a call back in a few weeks, a month, 2 months, whatever it is, and just let us know how it's going. Let us know how things are unfolding. But you are a beautiful soul. You need to allow that to transcend through the human existence, and that will align you, and that will put you on the right path. So
I just wanted to say thank you guys, and actually I've been trying to get out of this depression, from the split. I've been painting my room, so that's been kind of uplifting me. But I wanted to tell you, you kept on talking about the journey. Well, the name of my boat is called The Journey.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. You are being divinely guided, and the journey is about to begin for you. And it's that journey inward, and that journey inward is going to create the best you, so you can find that beautiful relationship that you deserve.
Maybe
thank you guys.
Maybe have some mantras. I am. Start with I am. I don't know if you do this already. Something that you want to be, or you feel it would bring you up. I am, and then you finish off the sentence. Like I am strong. I am beautiful. I am courageous. Something to bring more of you out. And if we go down to the base of our spine and we pull up all of our energy, we pull it right up and out, we can find exactly who we are. And sometimes we get feeling, less confident, or we get knocked down. But just know you have the power within you. It doesn't matter what's going on out in the physical reality. It's all within you. That's all you can control. So be sure to have strong boundaries and trust your intuition.
I got you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you so much.
Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Take care, Michelle.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah.
It's
so interesting. Yeah.
Tell me.
No, it's so interesting that so often, more than not, we discredit that intuitive guidance that we have, and we, that gut instinct. And I could tell you more often than not in my own life, when I discredited that, I was backtracking, I was backpedaling, and I was trying to get back to ground zero because I didn't follow my intuitive guidance. I didn't understand it, and it screwed things up. And I can tell you, in moments where I didn't know how something was going to work out, I didn't know the circumstances around things, but I followed my intuitive guidance. I trusted that gut instinct. I trusted in that divine presence within to guide me in the highest and best way. It always worked out, and it always does work out. And there's a reason. It's our soul is speaking to us. We're speaking about the afterlife, death, spirit, and it's just so, so, so important that we honor the soul that we are. We honor the spiritual being that we are, because that's where the beauty happens. That's where the magic happens. And that's where we truly find who we are, why we're here, what we're meant to do for our highest and best. And that just aligns us. It aligns us with the right people. It aligns us with the right places. And even if we don't understand how things are unfolding or why they're unfolding in a certain way, I don't think we always need to. You hear the phrase, let go and let God. Well, so many times we're trying to control our path. We're trying to control our destiny, and the ego is part of that. Our emotions are part of that, the human experience and our upbringing and our beliefs and, things that have been imposed on us or learned from other people. When we start following our intuitive guidance, we start aligning with the soul that we are, all that stuff starts to go by the wayside, and we truly align with the information that's coming to us for our highest and best. And if nothing else, I would just say, anyone out there, when you have that gut instinct, when when the red light is, when the siren in your head is going off, bad situation. Oh, this person isn't good. Oh, I shouldn't go out to that place tonight. I shouldn't get on that airplane. Whatever it may be, follow it, because it's occurring and happening for a reason. And the reason is your soul is trying to guide you to your highest and best. That's what it is.
Yeah, we all have our own personal journey. I agree with you. And to follow your intuition, sometimes it sounds easier than it is. You might have those out there that are arguing with you or saying, no, do this, don't do that. You have to trust your own intuition, because what is right for you is not necessarily going to be right for anyone else. And I've had myself where I am trying to make things be something, and then I have to remind myself, go with the flow. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, and just enjoy the ride. It's nice not to know what's going to happen. We don't need to know what's going to happen, because what our plan is not as good as the universe has planned for us.
Absolutely, and it's so true. Sometimes what we feel is, a misguided direction, or the path has shifted. Sometimes the most beautiful thing comes from that, and something that we completely did not see or expect or understand, but now it unfolds in front of us. And sometimes when we don't get things that we wanted, it's for a reason. Sometimes that relationship or that purchase or that trip or whatever it may be, sometimes there's a bigger situation at play that we are not aware of, and our guides and our angels and the divine presence that surrounds us and loves us is guiding us to our highest and best. And I can tell you, certain things in my life that I was so, I was so bummed out, oh, that didn't happen, or this didn't pan out, or I wish that would have occurred this way. Sometimes when it didn't, at the moment, I thought it was not necessarily the greatest thing. Sometimes I thought it was a negative thing. But when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that really happened in an unexpected way that turned out to be the best possibility that could have unfolded in that particular instance. So yeah, so we got to let go sometimes and trust, and that's when some amazing things can happen. It's when the soul transcends the human being that we are and guides us in the best possible way.
Okay, you just triggered something. I would like us to do a video. Would you like to do a video in the next few weeks before the end of the month?
Sure. So everyone can see us live on video?
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So on my Rumble channel. So it's Mary Amy. I think it's Mary Amy Official. Hold on. And I will... Tell me.
I'm laughing because everyone out there that's listening, you know what Mary Amy's doing. She's getting me to commit right now, so you definitely have a video. Yeah. So I
Mary Amy Official on Rumble. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to do it. Okay, so let's bring on another caller. Okay, hold on. I already spoke to this person, so let's bring them on. Hi, who's this? It's Mary and Michael.
Hi, my name is Sandra Kay, but I go by my middle name, Kay.
Hey, Kay. Where are you coming from?
I'm calling from Georgia.
Hi, welcome.
So what is up, Kay? That is cool, Sandra Kay. I like that. That sounds like it sounds like you're like a celebrity name. I like it. I like the flow of that. Very, very cool. So what's up? So Kay. So you want to be called Kay, so we should refer to you as Kay, right? Kay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Yes.
What question did you have for us, Kay?
I'll make this quick. So I just found out that I did not get a job that I really, really was excited about and thought, and it sounded like the perfect opportunity. They made it presented like I was like the candidate, and I just found out Monday that I didn't get it. And it's really, really has stung a lot. But I'm just wondering, do you see something greater coming in soon? Because I am working, but it's not like the money that I need. I'm really struggling financially. And just wondering, do you see something new coming?
So Kay, you were on hold, right? And you couldn't hear what we were talking about? Because the funny thing is you were meant to call at this point in time because everything we were just discussing completely relates to your situation. So just give us your name slowly one time, and we can connect to your energy.
Sandra Kay.
Okay, Kay. So, all right, a couple things coming to me. I just want to share this little bit of information of what we were just discussing. Sometimes when we don't receive the job offer, the relationship, the situation that we were so expecting, and we there was so much wrapped into that, and we really had our heart set on something unfolding in a certain way. Sometimes the universe, sometimes the divine presence around us, sometimes our guides, our loved ones, the angels, sometimes they're guiding us in a different way. And more often than not, when something doesn't unfold exactly how we thought it should, because our ego, everything about the human experience tells us, hey, we should have it all figured out, or this should happen in a certain way. When it doesn't, I can tell you more often than not, and for me personally, when I've had my heart set on something unfolding in a certain way and it didn't go that way, no matter how upset, depressed I was over it not unfolding in the way I thought it should, something better came to fill its spot. So I could tell you, first off, I do believe, I don't always say this, and I don't say it in this way, but I believe this didn't pan out for a reason, because there's something bigger and more impactful for you that's going to unfold. So the interesting thing, I'm being drawn to the month of, we're just going to kind of open up your energy field a little bit. We're going to connect and see what's in there, but I'm being drawn to March as a very significant month for you. So now, is there when I'm connecting to your energy field, it could be one of two things. Now, your guides are giving me the month of March. So that's either a significant date for you, anniversary, birth, death, something significant around March, or there's a major energy shift that's going to happen in March. So can you tell me a little bit about the month of March for you? Can you take that information? Is there something significant to that month? Okay. So what is
I just started a relationship with someone, and her birthday is in March.
Okay.
All
right, very cool.
It is growing. It is growing very rapid and it's going good.
Okay. All right. So it's going good. All right. So it's significant. So, and I appreciate that confirmation, that validation of the month of March for you. And that's how it unfolds. We're always getting information that's for your highest and best. The information we receive is always something that will empower you, will uplift you, or will help things unfold in what will manifest, what I say is manifesting your full potential, your full human experience. And March is very significant. So I would say the energy around that, and the energy that you could immediately connect to, a lot of positive love, a lot of like positive vibes around that. So that connection, that relationship, there's going to be a lot of special stuff that comes from that. So, but I say just take it slow. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you and overwhelm you so that you forget about everything else and everyone else. You know, you want that balance in that month. So that's what's coming to me there. You know, I really feel like compelled to tell you, hold and keep your balance. As much love that there is and positivity that there is around this relationship and this connection that you had with that March and that person, you need to still maintain your balance, and you still need to maintain your own identity. You know, you don't want to get wrapped up and consumed in that. And I just sense that it's such a positive, loving connection that you could easily get pulled into that. Yeah. And I mean, it's a beautiful thing, but we're here to try to guide you in your highest and best. And as good as that is, I have to tell you, maintain your self-identity and your balance, because in the bigger scheme of things, that's going to empower that relationship that much more, and that's going to bring more blessings to you that'll be able to then unfold through you for that other person. So that's very important. Very important. Now, I'm also what's the K initial? Who is the K initial that's around? There's something significant. I don't know if this is a
wow.
Who's the K? Because the K is coming through very loud and clear as a very positive connection to you in spirit. What is that? Or who is it?
Oh, in spirit?
I'm getting it from spirit, but they're giving me the K connection around you. So the K is a positive energy. So I don't know if this is them in spirit or they're talking about a relationship to someone here in the physical. So what is the K?
Okay.
How can you use the K?
It's so interesting. My daughter-in-law took me to dinner to kind of get my mind off of, the job situation. And right before I left out of the house, I got an email from someone who had worked with a recruiter that I had worked with for a position that I didn't get before, and her last name starts with a K.
Okay, so, and I knew it's not your name yet, so they're definitely talking about the significance of the K initial to someone that's a positive connection around you. Okay, so I think this is all tying together. I appreciate that confirmation, that validation around that. So that K name, so that connection could be unfolding behind the scenes to some type of new job, to some new prosperity, to some new connection that's not truly seen. And understand this, even though something doesn't unfold in the way we think it is going to unfold, doesn't mean that it still isn't, the wheels still aren't turning around you and there isn't still things unfolding. So I'm seeing a lot of positive energy. So as positive as the March connection and that connection to your significant other right now has unfolded, I see as much love and positive energy to that K. So if that's job related and that was in regard to the job connection, just know there's still something holding around that. So what I would say is you need to look at the aspects of that company or that industry or what you would be doing and see how you can possibly look into other areas that are connected to that, or how you can utilize those skills in a different way. So, Mary Amy, what are you getting around this, Mary Amy?
Hi, Kay. Okay, so this is what I received. Hello. So I saw clouds, which is a representation of a need to escape reality. I heard that you're going to have an unexpected new opportunity. Also, I saw a pile of books, which represents wisdom and memories, and I'm suggesting you have an openness to learn new things. I also heard the word cocoon, and I believe you're going through a transformation. What is apparent to you right now on the surface isn't, in fact, going to be the outcome. I don't know if you've ever heard of cause and effect. So basically, through our thoughts and through our actions, we can change outcomes. So my suggestion would be to be very open and to don't count on one situation. And just also it's your belief system. You know, we can change outcomes through our belief system. We can let go of this whole concept, this one job was the only job. Well, if it was the right job, you would have gotten it. It's not the right place for you to be, Kay. There's someplace better for you. And obviously you're very professional. You have good intentions, and you know, when you get in a job, it's not really necessarily getting the job. It's after that. Then you have to really love it, because that's where you are most of your time.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is, like, be sure that you are putting yourself into opportunities that you would love. Okay? And I do think that this relationship is positive for you, because it's bringing a lot of energy into your system. And sometimes when we have a relationship and we haven't had one, it kind of throws us off balance. But then we get back on, and we have to invest some time in a relationship for it to work, obviously. So I think that's really productive for you. But again, I'm going to say I do sense a new opportunity, unexpected, and just have openness to new things, and that's about it for me. And I'm wishing you well, and I want, and I'm hoping, like, you know, we have to see the best case scenario. We have to shoot high to get in the middle, really. So just be positive and like, listen to your gut about things. We were talking about that earlier, about our intuition. Trust your intuition, and you know, I sense that you have a lot of possibilities. It's just a matter of what you are really interested in doing. So just be open. Just be open.
Okay.
All
right. Understood. Thank you.
So Kay, before we close out with you, as Mary Amy was giving you her guidance and the information that was coming to her, I keep on getting Nigeria. Is there a Nigerian connection to you or someone around you? Nigeria. Why am I getting a Nigeria connection?
I did have a very, very dear friend. We haven't spoken in a while. She went through a divorce, and she kind of had to, I guess she shut herself down. But for her, she's Nigerian.
Oh, okay. So she is Nigerian. Okay, so there's positive energy around that connection. So I would say you may hear from her, or there may be some situation that reconnects you, or I'm being guided to say maybe it's on you to reach out to her, and there could be a very beneficial reconnection that happens. So, yeah, the Nigerian connection is very, very prominent, and it's very positive in your energy field. So just understand that. Now, also,
that's good to know.
With that, I'm also getting the visual of the sun, an image of a sun. So I don't know what the significance is to the sun, or if that's a visual that you use, or like literally it looks like a round, a little round yellow ball, and there's little yellow like straight lines coming off it. So I don't know what that is. It's images
wow.
I'm seeing around you. So just look for some type of sun symbolism.
Okay.
That may be some type of confirmation for you around this. But then also, I have to mention doing some type of entrepreneurial thing, some type of creative endeavor, or your skills. There's some type of entrepreneurial energy around you that you're not tapping into, or you're not fully trusting. So understand there's positivity.
I totally know what that is.
Yeah, okay, you know what that is?
I know what that is. Yes, my daughter-in-law and my partner is constantly trying to get me to do that.
In your energy field, so I appreciate that confirmation and validation around that, but I can tell you, your energy field, your guide, your collective really wants me to tell you there's so much positive energy around that you're doing yourself a major disservice if you don't tap into the entrepreneurial thing that you're supposed to be doing. So that may be why you didn't get the job. There's a bigger plan in place for you, and I truly believe you have the ability to empower yourself in that entrepreneurial aspect that could be very, very profitable. It could be very prosperous for you. So don't discredit that. And if I'm telling you that, and now you're calling in and I'm telling you that, I think that's confirmation for you. So I appreciate you calling in. Okay, thank you so much. So let us know how everything unfolds.
Thank you so much. And I'm wishing you well.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, both of you. Thank you so much. Blessings to you both.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Michael.
Marianne,
hello?
What's happening to me? Can you hear me?
Together. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So, I think that it's very interesting now. I just get a lot of visuals when I hear them speak. And I receive energy. You're really on point tonight with names and dates and very, very, very strong. I guess very strong energy is coming to you tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I didn't even meditate before the show, so I guess you just kind of fall into the zone. But I'll tell you, part of it is the fantastic energy that our callers have. They're very open, they're very receptive, and that makes my job a lot easier. So anyone, this is a little tidbit I'll share. Anyone going to do some type of energy reading, if you're going to a medium and you really want to try to get the best out of that reading, be as open as possible. The more closed off you are, the more of a prove it to me, give me the evidence, give me the validation, the harder it is for us to connect into your energy field and pull that validating information out. It's almost like a blockade goes up, a force field goes up. And I mean, in certain circumstances, in certain instances, it's good to protect your energy. And it's good to have that force field around you and have that shield of loving white light. It's important. And especially if we're going into certain circumstances or environments that we don't think are the highest and best for us. Protect yourself. I mean, we should be trying to avoid those, but sometimes you can't. And sometimes we're put into a situation or a scenario for a reason. But protect your energy. But when you're doing a mediumship reading, be open and receptive. Let that energy open, especially, trust the person that you're sitting with. Research them. Look into their background. Make sure someone's coming from a true place of love and light, a true place of God, and know they have your vested interest and your highest, best at play. But keep your energy open, connect, because it is a three-way connection. It's the medium's connection, it's the sitter's connection, and then it's the realm above, and we're trying to raise and lift our energy, and the divine realm is trying to lower their energy, and we're reading and interpreting a language of energy, so that's really what it is. So be open and receptive. But our listeners are fantastic. They're very open to this, and they're very receptive, and it makes my job a lot easier.
And, I find it so fascinating. Everyone's calling from different states. I see all these different area codes. Nothing's familiar to me. And I've been checking someone was from Virginia tonight, someone from Florida, someone from Georgia. So it's been exciting. Do you want to take one more caller? We have a few minutes left of the show.
Yeah, you know what? Let's take one more caller. But before we get into the last caller, I just want to touch base on something that I don't think we gave due justice and conversation about. Just real quick, you had talked about ghosts a little bit, or earthbound spirits, and a little bit of the difference and what is it and what's going on in conjunction with the afterlife, death, spirit. So a couple things I want to touch base on, and I'm going to make it quick, but just so people have an understanding. So when our body releases this physical human experience and we transcend, there are some different aspects to that. Now, I don't want everyone going in and thinking, wow, are there ghosts everywhere? Are there, spirit everywhere around me? Well, I mean, in a sense there is, but some aspects of this and what we need to understand, there's different variables on the human experience and the soul transcending. So there's a couple topics I want to touch base with. So one would be earthbound spirits. So this is something that you hear a little bit about. And could someone be stuck, or could something have happened, or could so personally haven't experienced a lot of this. I haven't experienced and gone into spaces where I truly felt, or there have been certain circumstances where I have experienced.
I have.
Yeah, so I have experienced it, but it's not every situation. But every situation isn't that. But understand, if someone dies suddenly, if there's an abrupt a murder or suicide, sometimes the energy can get discombobulated, and sometimes that energy can become earthbound. It could be stuck in a space. But on the flip side of that, going into a space, we don't want to immediately assume that there's spirit there, or it's haunted, or what's going on, because I'll tell you a story, a little quick story of another medium I was talking to, and she said, she would go into, it was a YMCA, and in the YMCA, she kept on connecting to this gentleman, and weird stuff would happen. Towels would disappear, swim gear would move around, the stuff that happens, even to us, we know this. What was going on is there was actually an earthbound spirit there, because he was trying to be a guardian and a protector over the space. So now there was young children, young boys groups, and young girls groups. They were all swimming and getting swimming lessons in this YMCA pool. Now, this earthbound spirit was staying there and was held into this space because he was trying to protect one of the children from drowning. Now, when the young boys were there and, they were fooling around and not paying attention, this earthbound spirit was trying to communicate to the medium that was in the space that something needs to change. The boys are very distracted when the girls are there. They're watching the girls. They're, teenage things, hormones are flowing. And that distraction and that energy was going to cause a death. So one of the children was going to be distracted by the other group, the opposite group, and it was going to cause a death. There was going to be a drowning. Something was going to happen, and they were going to be distracted, and in that distraction, a life was going to be taken. Spirit was trying to communicate that we need to separate the boys from the girls. We need to the boys are distracted. It's going to cause a death. So this earthbound spirit was actually guiding and trying to prevent a death, and did. The medium, fortunately, was very well versed in doing what they do. They understood the processes and procedures. They had a lot of experience behind them. They were able to connect on a deep level. This earthbound spirit was able to tell this medium that one of the boys was going to die because they were distracted by the girls and what the girls were doing, and it was going to cause some type of accident. So the medium had to go to the director of the YMCA and say, look, you need to split up the boys groups and the girls groups. They can't have their swim lessons together at the same time. Something bad's going to come with this. And I don't know exactly how she presented it and how, if it was, hey, there's weird stuff happening. You guys called me in to see what was going on, why stuff disappearing. Well, this is the reason. Well, let me tell you, the crazy thing was, as she conveyed this message that was coming through from the earthbound spirit, it allowed the director to shift and change how they were doing the swim lessons. So the boys were now kept separate. The girls were now kept separate. There was no distractions. There was no concerns about an accident or a death. And sure enough, when that shift occurred here in the human existence, That spirit was then able to release his energy from that space, and now things were no longer disappearing. They weren't hearing weird sounds or whistles and electronic stuff going wacky. It all shifted, but earthbound spirits are not necessarily stuck because they can't move on. Sometimes they're here for a reason. They're trying to guard and protect some type of accident or problem that could cause catastrophic injury, or whatever they may be. They're acting in a way to protect us and to help us. Once she did that, once she got the message across, that spirit was able to move on. Now, there's another thing in regard to that, and we could do a whole topic and a whole show on this alone, but there's also residual energy. So we have to understand when we go into a space, when we're very intuitive and we're very empathic, we can pick up on the energy of a space. So if you went into an insane asylum, or you went into a prison, or you went into one of these things, even if it was abandoned and no longer what it was originally purposed for, you could negative energy or that pain or that trauma and those things that occurred in that space. I'll tell you, I actually did an investigation on an old farmhouse. There was a family, they wanted me to take a look at it, what was going on. They had some really weird things happening. They were hearing things and footsteps. Well, lo and behold, when I got there, immediately I started connecting with residual energy of a very devastating death that occurred around that property, and there was also a fire, and multiple people died. Now, there wasn't earthbound spirit. There was nothing demonic. There was nothing negative in this space. You were just picking up on that pain of the death that occurred through that fire. So we can pick up on that residual energy. So it's not always earthbound spirit, even though that is a possibility. Sometimes it can also be residual energy. But I just wanted to put that out there, and I just wanted to share that little tidbit so people can understand. Normally we do transcend, and normally we do go on our spiritual journey, but there are some variables and there are some variations to that. And I think that'll be for a future topic, but I just felt I needed to touch base with that. So, Mary, I'm sorry I took a little extra time.
That's okay. I'm gonna give my share on that. The home that I live in a very old home. It's from 1855, and there is a woman that passed away, and she's there, and so she's from a different time, a different era. I don't know if I shared this story before. Do you remember me ever sharing this story before? I
don't know if you shared it on air, but I know one day when you were talking, I heard voices in the background. There was no one there with
right.
you.
Well, when we the last time we did a test, you could hear the kids running around, because I've heard that before, that there's children running around, spirits of children. Well, I had this oversized mirror, and I had it from a previous relationship. It was this beautiful, ornate, gold trimmed mirror. It was the size of a wall, basically. And I just thought, it's time to let go of this. And so I decided to carry it out and put it in the hallway of this very old home that's been divided into apartments. And in the middle of the night, I was woken up by this old woman's voice. And she says to me, "Burn it, burn it." And I knew right away. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really upsetting her, because I put this mirror exactly where her space is in this hallway. And it wasn't evil. It wasn't like you used the word demonic. That was her home, and she didn't want to see herself, I guess. So I moved the mirror. Someone was visiting, and one of my neighbors, and I gave it to him, and then that was it. I didn't hear from her again. But I do know the difference between the ones that are holding some kind of negative energy and not. She is not. She's living there. I accept that this spirit's there. I did do house cleaning for a long time, where I would clear energy. And there's value to your story. I went and I was clearing energy. It was actually a malevolent energy in this home. It was an unbelievable, humongous home with like an infinity pool, the whole works, right on the water. And there's something in there that was in the footprint of the house, because prior to that house being built, there was a psych building there, a mental building, mental hospital, not a huge one, but something there. And there's something very dark living there. and you can't get rid of it. I learned that it's not always like you can't get rid of it, and then it haunted me. So I was like, done with this. There is spirit that can be stuck somewhere in time and space. That's my perspective.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a topic we should probably do an episode on and really dive deep into that so people can really get a good understanding, because we're only touching the surface on this, and there's many aspects to it, and we can really dive deep on that, and we could definitely, I mean, that alone could be a 2-hour topic. So yeah. What do you think? Should we whoever is on?
No time left. We have 5 minutes or 4 minutes. So go ahead.
I was going to say, we apologize to those of you that are holding, but
we apologize.
Call back.
Please, please call
next
back.
episode, and we will make sure we get you on. So, Mary, Amy, if you can just
I'm writing down your phone numbers. Someone just popped off. I'm writing down your phone numbers so that I do make you the first caller. So what we have upcoming, guys, is, and everyone, thank you so much for listening tonight on this episode 15, May 8th, Wednesday. Upcoming, we have May 16th, we have May 21st, and May 30th, where we have a guest, and June 6th that we have a guest, and we will be doing a video on Mary Amy Official on Rumble. Okay? And we're
so before we go, I'm going to put this out there. Anybody that's listening, anybody out there, so what we want you to do, I got a nice deal for you. I am going to offer a free reading. We are going to pick one of our random listeners, but what we need you to do, you need to like and follow the Two Psychics radio show on Facebook or any social media where you can find us. Like and share that post, and we will see that when you like and share our post, the page. So when you like and share, you like and follow, share that to your page. We are going to select probably, a month or two from now, we're going to select one random listener that liked, followed, and shared our Two Psychics radio show on Facebook. And we are going to select you for a private half-hour reading with Mary, Amy, and myself. And you will get our full undivided attention. And we will give you a complimentary, no charge, full psychic mediumship reading for liking and following and then sharing our Two Psychics radio show Facebook page.
And I will give a clearing and a healing. So in other words, I do a reading on you, and then I do a healing clearing within 2 weeks, and then I send you an email with all of the information that I received. Whoa, there you go. We plugged something.
We got a lot to talk about. We're looking forward to everyone tuning in for our upcoming episodes. We have some fantastic guests. Mary, Amy, thank you for another wonderful episode. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to our next show.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, everyone, for listening. And please like and follow us and join us next week, and we will have new topics and new callers, and blessings to everyone. And I'm wishing you and hoping that you love yourself and forgive everyone that has harmed you, so that you release anything that's blocking you from your destiny.
And remember, I think the underlying theme of this was trust in our intuitive guidance and let go and let that energy flow. Yes. Until next time, everyone, thank you so much for listening to Two Psychics. We'll be coming to you next week.
Good night, everyone. We're going to come to a video this week. Look for me on us on Rumble, Mary Amy Official. Bye-bye.
Take care. Good night.